Hello, my friend, and welcome to your Reiki session. I hope you're doing as well as possible. As the seasons start to change and we're shifting into a new year, I wanted to help you to kind of hone in on and focus on maybe some of the transformations that you want to see come to fruition. So we're starting to kind of plant the seeds, sowing those seeds of intention. And one way that I find really helpful for kind of laser focusing our intentions is by creating an alter ego. This is a psychology concept that's all about how you behave differently based on the light in which you see yourself. So there is so much power in your internal perception of yourself. That internal perception is mirrored outward in a completely different way, depending on the way that you color your thoughts, particularly about yourself. So if this resonates, if this feels exciting and empowering, then welcome to this Reiki session. We are going to be really helping you to hone in on what you want to call in using this alter ego as a way to inspire. So if you're new here, my name is Anna Fable. I'm a Reiki Master practitioner and teacher. I love talking about energy. I love talking about self-development and healing. And I love conducting these Reiki sessions for the collective, for you. So jump down in the comments and say hello. If we haven't met, welcome. I'm not sure exactly when this will be going up, but I have a huge Black Friday sale and Cyber Monday sale happening. So if this is going up around that time, then I will include that code on the screen for my whole web shop. So basically all of the courses that I offer, all of the certification programs that I offer, and that's Reiki levels 1, 2, and 3, and a crystal course called Working with Crystals. So if you have wanted to become a Reiki practitioner, I like to offer these larger sales so that we can work together, connect more deeply. I love all of my students, and it's just such an honor for me to be able to teach you this amazing practice of Reiki. So I'll leave all that down below along with the discount code for you. But essentially what we're talking about here is just finding ways to inspire you to finding your path. What's your path? What does this path look like for you? So I think it can be really challenging when you start to first think about how you want to change your life or set intentions for the new year or whatever. Sometimes we do this with New Year's resolutions that almost feel like a little bit of a punishment or like a warning, like this year you better do this. This year you better wake up early, you better wake up at 5 a.m., you better do these things. And I think it can just set ourselves up for failure or for a real lack of support. And instead, what I want you to move into this new year with, and into any phase of your life, autumn to winter, winter to spring, spring to summer, a new year, on your birthday, whatever it is, at the beginning of a month, the beginning of a moon cycle, the lunar cycle, whatever it is for you, it's important to give yourself manageable goals. But if we have this unlimited potential, you could think of anything. Some of us feel a little bit overwhelmed by that. And sometimes we start to go, I don't know. Like, what do I want? Well, it's a lot easier to start thinking about what you don't want. It's a lot easier to start thinking about, how other people would probably be able to answer this question a lot easier. So that unlimited potential can sometimes feel very oddly uninspiring. Weirdly, kind of structure and limitations. Necessity is the mother of invention. Limitations help us to hone our energy. And so if you think, I have all the world of possibilities, what I can do with my life, it can be very overwhelming. Instead, what we're doing here is just almost thinking of an archetype. It can be an existing archetype that can help us with our imagination to kind of open up inspiration. And inspiration then leads to motivation, then helps us to hone in on our discipline through our daily habits. And this is just a really wonderful way of using kind of yin energy, lunar energy, divine feminine energy to hone in on what you want to do. So really thinking about this, is there someone who exists who you kind of admire, who you admire from afar, who you think, that's what I want to be doing. That's what I want. Is there somebody whose life you kind of really, really find very dreamy and inspirational? See if that exists for you. Does that exist in a writer that you just, you love their prose, you wish that you could be doing what they're doing. You read interviews with them and they are just living such a dreamy life, getting to write every day, or whatever it is for you. Is it someone who lives in a different country and has that incredible experience? Whatever it is for you, what is that? And a key way into this, I've shaken this up a lot. This is a moon water spray, an aura mist that has some lavender and a little bit of frankincense. So it's relaxing, very clarifying, promotes clarity and sort of spiritual alignment. So really tap into what that is. One way that we can do this, tapping into this, using our emotions, channeling our emotions to find kernels of wisdom, is to check in with who we feel jealous of. Who do we feel envious of? Whose lives do we feel like a twinge of almost like, I really want that? Especially if you haven't done a lot of work, using that can actually be a really powerful way to connect with the people that are living the kind of life that you want to live. Instead of leaching your energy out into kind of a useless emotion like envy, take that and just redirect and reinterpret it. Okay, the feeling that I'm having in my body that I'm calling envy is actually a really great sign from the universe that that's the direction that I want to go in. I want that thing. I want that life. I want to feel that way. I want to move through the world in that way. Whatever it is. So it's just for the next little bit, maybe until we hang out again, whether that's on a Wednesday or a Sunday, I want you to really focus on what comes up for you. Focus on what you might want to start cultivating. The alter ego doesn't have to be like a celebrity. It doesn't have to be somebody who's famous. It can be a fictional character. It can be a character from your favorite book. It can be someone who works online. There are so many different people who are sharing their journeys and their experiences. And so maybe that's something that you connect with. Whatever it is, I was watching something about like a guy who goes out into the woods and builds a cabin in like a few days or something in the middle of the woods. So I don't know what it is for you. What is it for you? What's that? Who's that alter ego for you? You can start to develop it. And if you're somebody who has a very rich imagination or somebody who feels very strongly about kind of creating these things for yourself, what you could do is you could develop that alter ego. So you're not kind of being inspired from the external, you're really taking from the internal. You could do it that way. The only kind of, not issue, but the thing that might snag you there is that sometimes if you're going back, recycling back in on yourself to find that inspiration, sometimes you might just end up in a loop and then there's no kind of evolving and transforming out of that pattern. But if you can look to some external inspiration, sometimes that's really helpful. So who is that for you? Who is that person? Who is that inspiration that just encourages and inspires? Who is that person? Oh my gosh, fluffies everywhere. Do you see them? They're like flying this blanket. But yeah, who is that person? How do they see themselves? How do you see yourself? How do you want to start seeing yourself? How do you want to start seeing yourself? Is this person bold? I'm using the sage incense stick here. Is this person courageous? Is this person compassionate? Is this person graceful? Just starting to clear and cleanse. We're just sort of doing a little bit of an out with the old, in with the new feeling here. You can start to clear the smoke with your breath as well. Slow, deep inhale. Powerful exhale. Good, 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 good. If you can start to frame in your mind who this person is, and then fill in the attributes that align with how you want to show up in your life, that is such a recipe for transformation. You have to believe that you're worthy of transforming, worthy of change. You have to believe you're capable of change. And if you can really resonate on an energetic frequency of this perception of your alter ego, then that's when you can kind of ascend, climb those stairs, and with each step, you become more and more resonant within that embodiment. You are reflecting exactly your perception outward. The way you see yourself is now being magnetized outward. You are amplifying all of the positive traits within you because we are always drawn to that which is capable for us, that which is available to us. If it wasn't available to you, you wouldn't find it inspiring. It's available to you. If you have a dream, it's because it's entered into the realm of your orbit. It's entered into your sphere of possibility. If it has been plucked from the unconscious and cast before the conscious mind, it is there because it's available to you. It's there because it wants to be magnetized towards you as much as you want to magnetize it. So, we're talking very esoteric here, but this can be done in a very practical way. When we're doing any spiritual healing, we are doing it here in the earthly realm. This is us. We are this human vessel that our soul, that divine, is experiencing. We are the divine in human form. We are having this experience. So it's going to be based on this material world, this earthly realm. So what is that? What do you want to call in for that? It's going to be a balance. It's going to be a balance of understanding the higher kind of channels of consciousness, and then taking action here in this material world. It's a dance. It's both. I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart and Taurus, and I feel like that dance between Scorpio is so ephemeral and so mysterious and so, it's all about transformation, evolving. Death is sort of the anchor of Scorpio, the scorpion. There's something very kind of deadly but innately kind of hypnotizing about the energy of a Scorpio. And the Taurus is so of the material world. To see Taurus is just sort of like cozy, warm, enjoying the senses and this very kind of earth grounded energy. For me, I picture like earth garden, fairy goddess kind of vibes from the Taurus. And you can use those kinds of archetypes. You can connect with, ancient Greek gods. You can connect with Norse goddesses. You can connect with anything that you want. With spirit guides, you could really channel and connect with anything that you want. Angel guides. It's really just about how you can set that intention. So we've done a lot of clearing here. Your energy is feeling pretty good. And now I would say, while I draw the sacred symbols, I want you to really start to think about the seeds that you want to plant. So we're going to be setting our intention next on our candle. So really start to hone in on and connect with what you want to call in, what you want to start setting in terms of your intention. Planting these seeds, sowing these intentions. What do you want to call in? Who do you want to step into? When we embody that, when we decide, cut off all the other options and decide that we want to step into this alter ego, what is it that we're stepping into? We still have a grounding in who we are because it's us who chose this, right? But it's a way of moving through the world where our inner intentions, our inner dreams match and mirror the frequency of our outer world. That's really what it's about. And you can deploy your alter ego in certain circumstances. Let's say you're going into a job interview and you want to have an alter ego that really masters the job interview. We've talked about that here before, like kind of connecting with these archetypes in order to help you in circumstances that might feel a little intimidating or intense, meeting new people or first date or, getting a job or whatever it is, performing, giving a big speech, whatever it is, having these archetypes, having an alter ego that you can connect with and say, like, this is who I am right now. That can be really helpful in those moments. But for this session, we're talking more about stepping into a new light, a new version of you, a new frequency. So it's not about somebody who's completely different to you. There's a shared energy. And the way that you know this is if you are drawn to somebody, it's because you share an energy, I believe. So starting to just really connect with that, really think about what you want to work on, who you want to call in. A good way of noticing this is like, okay, if you lean really heavily in one direction, maybe your alter ego helps pull you into the other direction, right? If you've noticed that you keep trying to achieve something by doing the exact same behavior, maybe doing it louder or quieter, metaphorically louder or quieter, but still you're doing the exact same thing. Maybe your alter ego is a way of saying, I've been doing this for a long time. What if I did this instead? It gives you a framework to shift and try something new. You're trying it on for size. You're putting on a cloak and you're just saying, how does this fit? How does this feel? And obviously we're all wise beings here. We know that we can't expect those around us to respond to us in the way that we might want. So this is an internal battle, this is an internal process where you get to make this decision. You get to play around with these energies. You get to have fun in this way. This is such a privilege to get to experience this. So I've been blabbing and I told you I would let you focus and hone in. So I'll let you do that now. And just one more kind of little sharing moment here. The idea of having an alter ego should feel exciting. If it doesn't feel exciting, if it feels like a chore, then just receive the energy of this session. This should feel like, wow, okay, I get to tap into a different energy. I get to feel into something new. If that resonates, if that feels exciting, then carry forth. If not, you can set an intention based on whatever you're moving through. If you need to, calm down or feel a little bit more, relaxed. All right, so set your intention. I'll draw the symbols here. So we're going to light our frankincense, natural coconut wax apothecary candles so that you can set this intention, move into this new season, this new chapter with these seeds firmly planted. And then over the coming weeks, months, year, you can water and nurture these seeds. Anytime that you feel like you're slipping into past behaviors, maybe there are habits or just really unsupportive, maybe self-sabotaging behaviors that you just want to release, and you've just really found it hard to release them. This can be a way of just going, let me shift and focus back on what is that target toward which I'm aiming? Where am I headed? What is that energy? And then if you have that energy, then you can shift all of your internal frequency to match that vibration. So what is that for you? It can be anything. It can be anything. For you, it could be anything. I'm gonna let you decide was part of the fun, is deciding. Coming up with your own metric. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example because I just keep hearing these messages that are like, say more, I want to hear more about your experience with it. So for me, one of my alter egos is Ingrid Bergman. I've always really admired her. I think that she is, in a lot of ways, my kind of style icon. I just absolutely love her, the simplicity of her looks, her fashion looks. And there's something very beautiful about the way that she kind of moves. I find it very grounding. Yeah, I love her. She's very inspiring to me. And I think because my background is Swedish, my family is Swedish, and that I look similar enough to her to where I don't feel lacking when I think of her. So this is an alter ego, but in terms of like fashion inspiration or kind of how I want to present and show up in the world. So that energy, that kind of Ingrid Bergman energy, when I even think of Ingrid Bergman, I don't know, it makes me stand up a bit taller, makes me kind of lean into my elegance, and growing up with brothers, that was something that I didn't always fully resonate with. So that sense of grace and femininity and elegance that sometimes I can reject just because it was so kind of ridiculed when I was a kid growing up with brothers. Stepping into that permission from somebody who I really deeply respect and admire, from really her film persona, basically, not necessarily her personal life, but just that film persona from all of her films. And she was in Gaslight. She was in the movie Gaslight, from which we derive the term gaslighting. And obviously Casablanca, tons of Notorious things. Anyway, you probably know Ingrid Bergman, but yeah, more about her on-screen persona, not her personal life, but her on-screen persona. What that meant to me. So it's sort of like taking an idea from, and then shifting it into something that helps me to maybe heal something from my past, gives me permission to have the kind of grace and elegance that's always been in there, but I haven't really allowed to come to the surface. So that's a very, I would say, superficial way of using the alter ego, but it's an example just in terms of having the awareness of something that maybe you're struggling with, and then using inspiration from the outside, something that you resonate with, something that feels, like connected for you, to give you permission to step into the light of that more empowered version of you. Because it's always you. It's just shifting into a different, like ascending the stairs, so stepping onto a new step. And I still feel fully like myself when I go, Ingrid Bergman. But there is just this permission to be a more graceful version of myself. Or not even that, just to lean into the natural grace that we all have. Lean into that natural grace that I have, that I rejected for a long time. It can happen a lot. I have so many examples. My background is on stage. I was a theater actor. Did a lot of theater growing up. And one of the kind of tools that I would use, each of the characters that I play was an alter ego, right? You play this character and you embody them, and then you step into them, your body changes, your voice changes. The words that you're speaking obviously are different. But when you are in that space, sometimes it would just be a word or a phrase or putting on the shoes or putting on the wardrobe that you go, oh yeah, now I'm that person. Or stepping onto the stage and being there with the other actors in that space. But all of those are practices in the alter ego. Even I had a role where I had to play 17 different characters. And it's a published work that I wrote. But those different characters were all had varying different accents. That was the way to kind of distinguish the different characters, as well as physicality. And so one of the characters was Irish, and so right before I would go on stage, but that character before was Scottish. Just have to go from Scottish straight to Irish, the Irish accent, which is like, they're similar enough to where it's difficult, but they're not so different that it's easy. So the Scottish accent, I'd go in, do this character, very Scottish, very whatever, and then I'd have to just dip out and come back in. And I'd have an Irish accent. It was a totally different character. I was a man in the first one, I was a woman in the second one. So I would run off stage as the Scottish character. And then in order to kind of shift into it, I just go, Saoirse Ronan, okay, here we go, Saoirse Ronan. And then I just walk on and I'd be in the accent, be in the character, I'd be all there. But something about saying those words just helped remind me of like, oh yeah, right, I know how to do this. My body knows how to step into this. So these are sort of like light, fluffy, fun examples of the alter ego. And I want to keep it like that because I want this to be just really fun and playful and inspiring for you. We often think about transformation as being very deep and very like deep internal death, and transformation is represented by death because it's the dying of the old self, and it can be very deep and intense. But I want to kind of lift transformation and allow it and invite it to become playful for you. So hopefully you've had enough time to sort of resonate with that. And now we'll set our intention on this flame. On behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered, most aligned self, in loving comfort and in perfect balance, I wish to conduct this Reiki session for helping you to step into, create, and develop your alter ego, to be magnetized toward this version of yourself who already exists within you, so that you then might ascend and transform into more of who you are meant to be. We're not hiding from ourselves. We're embracing all of ourselves and using this concept as a tool to march confidently in the direction of our dreams. So take a moment here. You've had time. I've given you time to think it through and set your intention of what you want to step into in this next chapter of your amazing life. Wonderful. Because these concepts are so of the earthly plane, I'm just going to balance your lower chakras, solar plexus, sacral, and root chakras. The Manipura, Svadhisthana, and the Muladhara chakra. Bringing all this work that we've done here in the mental plane down into the physical body. Down, down, down. Helping you to release blockages. So often we kind of fall into this belief that we are who we are and that's who we are, and anybody who tries to, develop themselves or change is not being true to their authentic self. I just don't believe that at all. I think, and I've seen it happen time and time again, that we all have nuggets, kernels, sparks of inspiration from the outside, and they're put there by the universe, they're put there by source in order to guide us in the direction of our dreams. If you are completely content exactly as you are, then that's wonderful. But most people who are here, you're moving through something. You recognize that this journey of life, it takes intentionality, and healing ourselves is such a powerful, empowering part of the process. And, whether you are struggling with anxiety, or maybe you struggle with not feeling worthy, or, you struggle with something that just makes you out of alignment in some way, then the answer is not going to be in if you're doing the same things that are keeping you stuck. It doesn't matter how many other things you sprinkle on, you're always going to be stuck. So recognizing the patterns, having the self-awareness to say, I see what the problem is here. This is the problem. And going back to the basics and just saying, am I sleeping? Am I getting a good amount of sleep? Am I prioritizing sleep? Am I nourishing my body with healing foods? Healthy foods. We all kind of internally know, but, really learning how to nourish our bodies. Me, I choose the vegan diet. That's what I've eaten for a decade, and it served me very, very well. I feel very energized, and but whatever it is for you, however you most deeply want to connect with nourishing your body and nurturing it, moving your body every day, getting movement in. These things are I can't tell you how important they are. Getting outside. If you've been in all day, right after this session, I want you to just go outside. Go outside, take a deep breath in of the air and let it go. Being outside, stepping outside. If you just do those things, your life will so dramatically change. And in terms of this alter ego, it really is just about allowing yourself to really see your own self-sabotage baldly, seeing it in the light of day. Like, yeah, okay. I know ways that I've been self-sabotaging. Here's how I can break that loop that I don't want to be involved in anymore. I don't want to be trapped in this loop forever. Good. All right. Here's to the start of your next chapter. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative. You are safe. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sending you so much love and support. Take really good care of yourself, okay? Take really good care of each other. And until we meet again, be so well. Okay. Namaste. Hello, my lovely, lovely patrons. This session is going to be all about just like sending love into the hands. Our palms are these like
So soothing.
So I'm just going to be sending this energy towards you. I love using things from nature to send healing energy. You know I love using things like driftwood, stones, all the earthly elements. I love using water as a healing element. Good. So sending that love towards you, and see if you can just maybe breathe it in. Fill yourself up with that gorgeous, loving energy. Imagine the aroma just swirling in and flowing all through your body. Which can be directed and channeled with laser-like precision to help you accomplish tasks and achieve objectives. Cool. This is going to be a really powerful time for you. 2 super empowering cards. You have this fiery energy, and you have like the earth and the roots and the ancestors. It's like star and earth and fire. Find as comfortable a position as you can. Maybe close your eyes. You could lie down, whatever feels right for you. And let's begin today with gratitude. Whatever position you find yourself in, bring to heart one thing for which you